welcome to Agile World Coffee Chat. I'm Sabrina.
I'm Bel.
I'm Cynthia.
And we're just here, sat down, having a coffee to simplify what Agile is and give you our point of views while having a coffee. And today's subject is certification. Saying that slowly. What's our thoughts? Who wants to go first?
Agile I have a certificate. I have a certificate from Ninja School. It says I'm a ninja. So it must be
an
true.
Agile ninja, because we're talking Agile today.
It must be true.
That is a specialty. They're rare. They're really hard to get hold of, being an Agile ninja. I know a few people that are after some of those Agile ninjas.
Yeah. Very hard to come by.
But honestly, what do we think about certificates? There's multiple out there, different types, different roles, different scenarios. I know we've spoken about this previously. It's been spoken about a lot out there at the moment on social media. Are they worthwhile? Do we think they're beneficial?
I'll start. I'll start.
Go for it.
Please
go for it.
I think they're beneficial in the same way getting a college degree or some other kind of certification is beneficial. It shows that you care enough to take the time to learn about a topic, because a lot of people don't know about a topic. It's not taught in school as a general rule, right? And so it shows that you're willing to take the time to learn about a topic. You're willing not only to learn about it, you're willing to take a test and get certified, and you're also willing to commit to the continuing education required to actually have and maintain the certification. It's really important. But what it doesn't do is give you the experience that you actually need to be a certified Scrum Master or a certified product owner, or whatever job title you're looking for in the quote unquote Agile world. And I think we're mistaking certification for practical and applicable knowledge. And I'll pass the baton to someone else now.
To be fair, that's why I'm a terrible ninja, because I've never had a chance to try it out for realsies. I passed the course. I understand the theory. Am I a ninja?
Yeah, because you didn't make the commitment to your continuing ninja education.
No, I let my sword skills slide by the wayside.
I do see on the day-to-day when you do want to get the ninja skills out, I'll tell you that. So I've got a similar point of view. So I do believe in certifications. I do. Okay, this is where I'm going to twist my words here slightly. I'm the happy medium person. You'll notice this through the series. Going on these training courses are absolutely great. It's what happens afterwards. And this is the bit I can get a bit frustrated about. After you go on a training course, it's great because you're extending your knowledge and an opportunity to extend your experience and also pass on that knowledge and experience. But what I'm finding a lot of people are doing is they're taking this pretty badge. And don't get me wrong, I'm a massive badge person. If you look on my Peloton account, you will see I'm trying to collect every single badge that is going. But it's when they collect the badge, but they don't use what they've just picked up in that training and try and implement it or extend their knowledge. Because the way I see it is these courses is almost a starter pack for a journey. And then there's actually another stage of a journey, not just implementing it, but it's almost like a snippet to open up your mind and then take the next step. And when I see people that have taken that time and effort and cost to go on to these courses, but then they never carry on and extend their learning, because it's not all paid for. You can Google, you can research, you can test it, you can try and implement it. That's the bit that I get frustrated about.
Fair enough point. I mean, I have worked with people in the past who have paid their pennies, they have got their certificate, and they then are, whatever they claim to be. Do they have any experience of applying the knowledge they clearly have because they passed the certification? No. Do they potentially understand the many pitfalls that exist when you're trying to just be a thing? No. Not necessarily. So from that point of view, it's a good starting point. It's a stepping stone to experiential learning in a way that just having a certificate never is. I mean, I on paper, I'm a magical ninja. But, you know, once I got my balaclava on, I can't really see through the little eye holes because I never get them in the right place.
Well, let me ask some questions, because I'm hearing, well, it's not the same thing as having the experience. So if getting a certification is just that very first step, and we're going to ask people in an interview for a behavioral question, like, tell me about a time when your team wasn't doing what you wanted, or the story sucked, or whatever it is that you think you're doing. How do people get the experience to truly take that learning and apply it? What are you suggesting that they do? So I've got my CSM, like, for instance, I have a client that is a teacher. She's a coach. She coaches 400 middle school students every day, and she wants to be a Scrum Master. So, you know, how do you show transferable skills? If you're just out of school, how do you get those skills so that you can answer a question and get the job and actually be who you really, really want to be?
So
That is the challenge, right?
There's
Yep.
multiple channels. There's join meetup groups, join groups of people that have that experience, or people that are learning, so you can learn together. Especially when it comes to agility. Agility you can do anywhere. It's been proven multiple times as personal agility, and then there's work agility. Or 9 times out of 10, when most people go on these courses, their work has actually sent them on these courses for them to come back and try it out and implement it. And I know a lot of people are sometimes quite scared of doing that, but there's a lot of meetup channels and meetup groups. Find somebody in that you know of, or a friend of a friend who has been doing this a while, and see if you can work with them, or even kind of learn from them that extended part of the knowledge. Do some research, watch some YouTube videos. There's just so much. Listen to Agile World. There's just so much out there. And do you know what? Agilists, I would say, are the most friendliest bunch that want to help and learn from each other. It's part of your agile journey. So that's the first point. Go for it, Bel.
I was going to say, you also might find a small charity or a small organization that desperately needs somebody to help them organize their work in a better way, but who could never possibly afford to hire a Scrum Master at the going rate. So, you know, ticks 2 boxes, gives back, gets you experience. And
this is gonna semi-go into slightly another side of a topic that does semi-frustrate me, is when you get, I feel the work world needs to change slightly. And I think they're getting to that stage, they are changing, is when they're more interested in what certifications you have to experience.
Yeah.
And
no evidence of competence, but you've got all the badges. So therefore you must be amazing.
And yes, in the world of Peloton, am I even allowed to say that on here? Possibly not. I might get told off. But I have all the badges, but I'm not a fitness instructor.
We have an expression. We have an expression for this in Glasgow. It's called all the gear, no idea.
Yeah, that's me. All the gear, got all the gear.
Idea.
No clue what I'm doing, just following what someone's saying on the screen. But yeah, it's when businesses are changing. I am noticing that they are changing, where they actually are more interested in actually your experience. And I've spoken to a lot of people that work in the delivery area where they want to move into Scrum Mastering. They've not yet got the certification, they're panicking, but they want to move into it and they want to apply for these roles, but they're like, I don't have on my CV being a Scrum Master. And the first thing I say to her is, do you know what? Have a look at your career. Because 9 times out of 10, you've actually done a lot within your career that actually links to it. And you show that. You don't have to show a certificate.
Well, it's about evidence of competence ultimately, isn't it? You can be competent to pass an exam without necessarily having experience, in the same way that you can have the experiential competence that would allow you to do the job without necessarily having the certificate that says you can.
Well, I think it's a couple of things. One of it, and we've hinted around at it, but we haven't really talked about it, is language. Not the language of different languages like English, Spanish, French. I'm talking about the language of Agile and the terms that you use. And one of the things that, because I coach people who are transitioning in their careers, is go out to LinkedIn, go out to Indeed, go out to Dice, look and see what language are, actually read the language of the ad, and you'll see a common thread. Because a lot of it for a Scrum Master and even a product owner, a lot of it's project manager language because it's written by human resources or whatever.
People
So
who have no idea what they're writing, they just write the words.
They're scanning your CV or your resume. So make sure that your resume includes those words, that you have actually, you've done those things, even if you haven't had the title of Scrum Master. And I think that is really important. And two, when you go to an interview, they're going to ask you, tell me about a time when. Make sure you have 2 or 3 experiences that you can, that are on the tip of your tongue, that you can juggle, that you can say, oh, yes, I did this. And you can have slight variations on 2 or 3 different themes. I helped some guy had like 20 questions, and I'm like, really get 3 or 4 scenarios and then adjust them based on the question, because it has to be so natural that you have to prove that you're thinking that way.
Yeah.
So learn about what you need to learn about, look and see what it is that people are actually looking for, not what you think they're looking for. Go out and read the ads, change your resume so that it includes those words, and make sure that you have scenarios that can describe that you can prove it if you get the resume. Because the certification and the resume or CV only get you the interview. You get yourself the job, and you won't get the job if you can't prove that you can't do the job.
No,
right?
That's true. I had the very same conversation yesterday with a girl that I mentor. My old university reaches out to its alumni every year and says, please come and mentor some of our final year students. And I had this exact same conversation with her yesterday. She knows what she wants to do. She's got the qualification, but she has no experience. I was like, well, think of all the things that you've done to get to this point in your life. You do have the experience. You just have to be able to talk about it in a way that the recruiter says, oh, you're the person for me.
Yeah. A little bit of a sale technique.
Yeah.
I've been in an awkward situation where someone's actually been pushed to go do a Scrum Master course. We're talking a lot about Scrum Masters. These are great examples.
And a friend of mine, project manager, many years of experience, hired in by a company who wanted to transform, brought in the inevitable big consultancy who reorged, changed all the job titles, and sent all the project managers off to become Scrum Masters. He's like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do next. I was like, oh, you've got the certificate. He's like, help me, Bel. I was like, yeah. Okay.
Well, that's another topic that we probably should talk about. Put this on the back burner. Coaching itself, like why would you hire a coach? Because that's a whole different topic. Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Sending people to class doesn't make them like a Scrum Master or a product owner. And then also, if you're transitioning or even starting out, don't have such a big ego that you're not willing to be part of the team. Because remember, in Scrum, if you're talking Scrum, there's only 3 roles. You're the product owner, you're the Scrum Master, or you are the team. So be willing to be the team, to learn how it is, see how it goes. And then you can say, I have actually worked on an Agile team. I facilitated these things. I did this. At least one job where you're observing and participating versus trying to lead something that you don't 100% understand, because we all realize that an Agile mindset is completely different than a project management taskmaster mindset, right?
Yeah.
And as Agilists, that will go on our backlog for talks.
I see what you did there.
Oh, I'm good at this. It's like I've been doing this for a while. But you know, what we're saying at the end of the day is actually at the very beginning of this, it probably sounded like we're all quite negative against certifications.
No,
we're not negative against certifications. There's a lot of certified bodies out there that we've all, got certifications from. It's the aftermath. It's the way it's been portrayed. It's the way business portrays how important they are. And it's the feeling, and this is my feeling, is sometimes a lot of people or a lot of companies don't think of that experience or give people that space to get that experience. And as Bel just highlighted, you've got a certificate, you should know what you're doing. Most of these certifications don't tell you they give you a guidance on what the job is and how it should be done. They don't tell you how to implement it, and it doesn't give you that much detail.
It's the happy path. It's the happy path. This is how you be a Scrum Master. It doesn't cater for the disasters. It doesn't cater for the absent stakeholders. It doesn't cater for the teams who could give a toss, quite frankly. It sets you on the path. What you do then is up to you.
Well, because it's one of the only places that you can learn about the topic. So that's where you go. That's a start. That's a commitment, right? That's what it's there for. The thing is like watching a video on YouTube about changing a faucet doesn't make me a plumber. Watching a video about surgery doesn't make me a surgeon.
Wow.
Getting a CSM doesn't necessarily make me a Scrum Master either. It shows that I have the knowledge and the commitment to learn and take a test. And that's the best place to start, because if there's no other place that you're going to learn how to do that, then getting a certification from a reputable organization is an excellent way to start. It's when you start adding more things to it. I mean, we've kind of done that. It used to be with the PMP. I have a PMP, and years ago it was like anybody who had a PMP then must be the best project manager on the planet. Or getting even an MBA doesn't mean that you can run a business. It's the same thing that's repeated over and over. But that doesn't mean that I didn't commit, like I have an MBA over 2 years of my life and like given up all my to get an MBA. But when I got out, it didn't make me the CEO of IBM or something, right? And that's,
well, you wouldn't want to do that, believe me.
Well, well, that's a different story. All I'm saying is like put it in perspective, people. Okay.
I love it. Well, I don't know about you ladies, but I'm nearly finished with my coffee. Right. We want to hear your point of view on this. So please comment below. Let us know what your thoughts. We will add some link to just some areas of ways of training certifications that give some ideas. But do you know what? Let us know what you think, because this is just our point of view, and we're always happy to have guests on the show. So thank you very much for joining Agile World Coffee Chat. Cheers.
Bye.
Peace out. Bye-bye.